Hello and welcome to the preview show from RamsTV. It's a foggy, freezing day here at Pride Park Stadium, where in a couple of hours, a couple of the League One promotion hopefuls will face each other. Derby County taking on Bolton Wanderers, both sides aiming to chase down the top three. Today's game sees fourth take on fifth in League One, and it is staggering how similar these sides are, according to the numbers at least. They're level on points, Derby edging up on goal difference at the moment. Bolton have played a game more. Derby have the second best defence in the division, Bolton have the third best. Today's visitors have actually kept more clean sheets than the Rams, and there's next to nothing separating them in the expected goals stakes either. It should be a fascinating game today. Do join us for it if you can on Matchday Live from 2:30. Well, both clubs also added to their squads this week. On Monday, Tony Springett became Paul Warne's first signing as Derby County head coach, and the boss is very happy to have him here.
Yeah, really chuffed. I've seen him play live a couple of times. Watched a lot of him. Spoke to Norwich on numerous occasions over the last 3 weeks, trying to help them convince him to choose us. He had a few clubs that he could have gone to, but he suits us for many reasons. Really good kid, wants to get better, keen to play, trains really hard. Top of all the training data, which I like, and just gives us a bit of balance on the left side. So he can play wide of a 3 on the left, he can play wide of a 3 on the right, he can play as a 10, he can play as a midfield, he can play as a left back. So in fairness, we have a small squad, so anyone who can play more than one position brings a lot to us, but I just think at times a left footer higher up the pitch gives you a bit more natural balance, and I like our wide players. Obviously we lost Will, so he brings a bit of competition to that. He's been brilliant in training. The lads really like him. I think people have interviewed him, so you can hear himself talk. But no, brilliant. Really pleased. Yeah, and hopefully he'll be a really good addition with the games coming up. Because what I didn't want to do is just get exactly the same player. Because in certain games it needs a certain sort of player, and the more different options we can have as a coaching staff, the better. So I think he, will play a massive part going forward.
He's done an interview with Owen earlier in the week that you've seen, and he mentioned that he'd had a chat with yourself on FaceTime and that convinced him. So how did he pass the Paul Warne character test? Because we know they're pretty stringent.
Yeah, quite hard. Yeah, he passed it with flying colours, really. I was just really honest with him. I asked him what he thought his weakness was, what I could help him with, and that matched up with what I had in my head. So that was good, because if a player says, you know, I think I'm really rubbish at, I think I'm really good at crossing, but I'm not very good at cutting inside, I'd be like, I'm not so sure about your crossing's good. Like, so he, what he thought his weakness was, I liked his whole desire to play. I liked the fact that I told him straight, and he might have told you this, that, look, by all means, speak to every other manager, get a feel of them. However, if you come here, you're coming to compete. I won't build a team around you. I'm not making you a captain. I'm not guaranteeing you a minute on the pitch. You might play every game. You might play in none. It's your decision. But if you want to challenge yourself, come here, because we're a very good team full of very good players in very good form. But if you want to go for an easier option, then go for one of the other teams who want to sign you. It's fine. And then straight away he was like, no, I want to challenge myself. So I thought, right, good. So I got him on the technicality, really. And then after, I spoke to someone I know who he spoke to, and he was sort of keen on coming because I didn't lie to him, I think. Well, that's what he said. One of my best features was I weren't going to lie to him, which I'm not, because I don't want to tell him I'm going to do this and that, and he comes through the building and he doesn't start for the first 4 games and he cries like a baby in my office telling me why aren't I playing. I told you why. The team are doing really well. You have to. It's not my job to pick you. It's your job to get in the team. So, a fresh piece of paper for Tony. He's trained really well. The lads love him, which always helps. If you get on well in the dressing room. And he came across really well. I've done loads of research on him, so as well as I can, he's, we've ticked all the boxes.
So let's move on from that. Bolton this weekend at Pride Park, team you played not too long ago. You can have 30-odd thousand there for a top 6 clash. it's got that big game feel, or is it a case of every game that's Derby County has that big game feel about it?
Yeah, for me it does, and I say it to the lads all the time. They're all cup finals. You've got to earn the right to play. But it feels like if it's against a lesser team, we get 28,000, and if it's a top team, it's like 30,000. And to be fair, when you're talking about that many people, they don't feel any different. It's just a lot of people, isn't it? So I won't stand there Saturday and think, there was a couple of seats spare there last week, but this week they've gone. To 30, it's just a phenomenal amount of people who want to turn up and watch our great team play. So for that, I'm grateful. It might have a different feel because, over recent weeks, we've probably had it all our way, really. We've been quite dominant in all our performances, although possibly not on the scorelines, but we have on the actual threats and we've caused. But this is a different level, really. We played Bolton not long ago, which is quite unique. You don't normally, like when we done the preview to the game for the lads today in the first meeting, we even showed them clips where they'll remember not that long ago. So it will have a big game feel, as in back to we just need to keep winning. That's the truth, whether we can or not. But we just need to keep winning. So it doesn't bother me if it's Ipswich, Bolton, Cheltenham, Cambridge. We'll set out to absolutely go for it from the outset. And look, sooner or later we're going to hit a hurdle, but that's our intention. And we need to go after Bolton, and Bolton will probably come after us. We're two teams that want to go for it. Ironically, when we played each other last time, it was an absolute dower off. So it's like you sort of cancel each other out, really, because we've got similar points, similar team of ability. They've brought the new player in, centre forward in, so there's something else possibly to look at. But it was a really close match last time, and it'll probably be a close match this time. So hopefully our home fans can give our lads the extra energy they need to win.
Well, not only have Bolton signed striker Dan Lunderloo on loan from Southampton, they also added forward Shola Shoretire on loan from Manchester United yesterday. The 18-year-old faced Derby in pre-season a couple of years ago. He's become the third signing that manager Ian Everts made this month.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Shola. He's a player that I've been aware of and admired for a long time. We've worked extremely hard to get him here. Any young player that's as highly thought of as Shola is, and around Manchester United's first team, it's not going to be easy, but Manchester United trust us with what we're doing and trust us and seen what's happened with Conor Bradley, James Trafford, for instance. So we're delighted to have him. I'm really excited to work with him. He's trained this morning. I've seen some real good things. That ability to receive centrally and play 360, that sprinkle of quality and magic that it'll bring to unlock doors, for instance. And yeah, we're really happy we've got this one over the line.
We've got 3 in already during January, and the team's going along very nicely.
Yeah, the 3 we've got in, we've all identified as real good players, have been our targets for quite a while now. So when you get your number 1 targets through the door, it's really pleasing. And as I said, probably 1 or 2 more to come. But for now, I'm really happy with where the squad's at. I love the dynamic, I love the feel, and working with them every day, the positivity that's coming from the group. So yeah, we're in a really good place at the moment, and we're looking forward to a big game on Saturday.
Absolutely, a lot going on off the pitch, but let's not forget potentially one of the games of the season on Saturday is when the fixtures first come out, and the way both teams are playing and the league positions, it's certainly going to live up to that billing, isn't it?
Yeah, wonderful club. I know that club at the back of my hand. Really grew up there, educated me there, learned all about the business of football there. Great fan base, brilliant stadium. It's what we're in the industry for, to have and play in these big games, be involved in these big games. I'm really excited to be a part of it. 2 good teams playing very well at the moment, in good form. And yeah, may the best team win. It's as simple as that. We're excited by it and very much looking forward to it.
It's a bit like going home for you. It's where you started your career, and I know it's all about Wanderers on Saturday, but it'd be nice to stand in the touchline. Will you have a minute to sort of have a look around and take it in?
Yeah, I mean, I've got lots of fond memories from that place. As I said, I lost my granddad, who was very close to me a few years back, and the memories of him driving me on cold winter nights to Derby from Coventry most weeknights will come back to give me a bit of a smile on my face. But as I said, it's be nice to see some friendly faces, but strictly business on Saturday, and looking forward to a very good game.
Yeah, just lastly on that, it is about Wanderers, and we go there in cracking form and with so much to play for. It's really exciting. The 3,000 supporters are going there, and it's going to be a huge crowd. It's a real game to get the juices flowing.
Fantastic game, as I said. it's why we're in the industry, really, to be involved in these big games against a very good team, coached by a very good manager who's experienced to get out of this level, we feel they're going to be there or thereabouts coming into the season. So brilliant test for us, and let's see what happens.
Well, there is Ian Evatt, the Bolton boss. Here, South, things are looking at the top of League One. Plymouth are 3 points clear, but have played more games than anyone else. Sheffield Wednesday are their closest competition, with Ipswich 4 points behind. Derby and Bolton start the day 11 points off the top two, but they do have a cushion to Peterborough down in 7th. Things are tighter at the bottom, where 6 clubs are separated by just 4 points. The bad news for Forest Green and for Burton is that they have played more games than the rest. Well, how any team would love to be on the sort of run that Derby are enjoying at the moment. 17 unbeaten in all competitions. They're also going for their 5th consecutive win this afternoon as well. We've been getting some insight into Derby's form from midfielder Conor Harahan.
I think it's a bit of everything, really. I think the lads at the back have been absolutely terrific. Joe and the back four are settled, which always helps. There hasn't been too much chopping and changing. There's probably been 8-9 consistent players out there over the last kind of 6 weeks, which is good. And we seem to be clicking at the right time. The lads on the wing, whether it's Dobbs and Tom or Nat, whoever it may be, are chipping in with goals as well. It feels like the goals are coming from all areas, which helps. And then to mix it with a lot of clean sheets on top of that is usually a good recipe. So I think everyone's playing their part, and hopefully that will continue.
And a new face to add into the camp this week as well. What's Tony Springett been like since he's arrived on Monday? Yeah,
really good. He's only been training a couple of days, but he looks sharp. He's a left-footed winger, can play left back. Looks like he's got a lot of energy, can get up and down the pitch, comfortable on the ball as well. So no doubt he'll be a good addition to the squad and play his part towards the end of the season.
And this good form is meaning that you're starting to build a gap between yourselves and 7th place. How much focus now goes on chasing down those top 2 and continuing to build that gap? Yeah, that's hopefully the plan. I think we wanted to cement ourselves in the playoffs for the time being first and foremost. We feel like we're doing that, and hopefully now we can go on some sort of run that we can close that gap. We're obviously hoping that the top 2 or 3 up there maybe have a little bit of a slide as well, which would maybe ease our run a little bit. But look, we only can look after ourselves, and game by game we have to take care of our performances, and hopefully the results will follow, and hopefully over the course of the season, between now and the end of the season, that gap will close. And he's facing another side in the mix on Saturday. What can you learn from the very recent meeting with them just 4 weeks ago?
Yeah, look, they're a good side. They're banging in the mix themselves. They'll be kind of have the same ambitions as us, cementing the playoff position, and then see where it takes them after that. It was a very tight game. There wasn't much in it. There was a couple of chances that maybe each team could have nicked it, maybe 1-0. But I expect another tight game again, and hopefully we can come out on top and create that little bit of quality that might win the game.
When you play a side twice in quick succession like this, is there much that you take from a previous game, or is it like that's chalked off and you start afresh?
I do think you look at it a little bit and see the weaknesses and maybe where you could have improved on a little bit, and you study them, and I suppose it's fresh in the memory, so you probably, the manager and the assistants and the coach have been asking us for our feedback a little bit on this game, because it's such fresh in the memories, and a lot of the players are still if it was the start of the season and in March time players might change or whatever, but because it's so close together, it's pretty much the same kind of team again, and it is similar to Bolton as well. It's pretty much the same team for them as well, so it's fresh in everyone's mind. So like I said, it's going to be a close one again. 2 good teams, expect a massive crowd, good atmosphere, and like I said, hopefully we can come out on top in this one.
I was about to mention it myself and you beat me to it. It will be a big crowd. They've sold out their away and we're expecting a crowd of around 30,000 for it. This is a kind of big game that footballers relish, isn't it?
Yeah, massive. It's a championship game, top end championship game, attendance. 2 big clubs going at it. Derby obviously being a huge club, and Bolton as well. Having years in the Premier League, it's going to be a tasty one. It was the same at their place. It was pretty much sold out as well, so that shows the size of the game again, and everyone's really looking forward to it.
And there he is, Conor Harahan. Plenty of games already called off today due to freezing conditions in League One. That's the matches at the Memorial Stadium, Sincil Bank and the Mazuma Stadium as well. Of the games that are going ahead, the top 2 are both at home, Plymouth facing Cheltenham, Sheffield Wednesday playing Fleetwood. The Owls haven't lost for ages either. Ipswich will probably expect to win at Oxford as well. But we've got the game of the day in League One here at Pride Park Stadium as Derby County host Bolton Wanderers. Overseas viewers can watch the games with us on RamsTV. Matchday Live is with you from 2:30. As always, you can get a game pass at the website dcfc.co.uk, and we will be back here to bring you reaction later on Facebook as well. But for now, we'll leave you with this. It's been a really busy few days for the Derby County Community Trust as they have marked the EFL's Week of Action. Take a look.
So really important to be at the wall today as part of our celebration of the EFL Week of Action. So we are at the community hub, so at Harrison's hub later, where we will be serving chili to over 40 local families, and part of that process has been the 1884 wall, which you'll see behind me, which we've used to raise funds to basically cover off, family meals week in, week out for the next 3 months. So the family meals at the hub are just one part of all the activities that are going on at Harrison. So if anybody is interested in seeing what's on there, or potentially volunteering, or actually want to refer somebody to come onto one of the programmes, go onto the Derby County Community Trust website and you'll see all the information there. Likewise, if you are working with the local authority or the Derby Food for Thought Alliance, just give them a shout and they'll be able to signpost you to our activities as well.
Delighted to be here today. Myself and Dobbs have come down to show our faces, to show our support. People that are maybe a little less fortunate than others to have their hot meal and stuff like that. So amazing work that Derby are doing here today, and hopefully it'll put some smiles on some faces.
Yeah, I think it's great what we're doing. I think it's always nice to bring everyone together and serve them food that maybe the less fortunate can't have at times. So it's nice, and it's obviously a great vibe in here, so I'm enjoying it.
It's not easy for people out there at the minute, so for the fans and for people to be chipping in, which wouldn't be easy for them either. To make people eat and live, and whatever the case may be. So full credit to everyone for pulling together. It's amazing, and like I said, just delighted to be here to see the work that people are doing, and like you said, putting smiles on faces, which is what it's all about.
Yeah, I think everyone's coming together in what people would say is a really tough time at the minute in the world, and I think it's great always to give back to people, and there's no better feeling really. It shows the power of what a football club can do and how many people it can bring together across the city, so I think it's really positive, and hopefully we can keep it going.